Buenas tardes. Me llena mi corazón ver tanta gente como amaba a mi hijo, especialmente mi familia de sangre. Les quiero decir gracias por soportar este tiempo duro. Han sido un gran apoyo para mí y les quiero decir que los amo a todos ustedes. También quiero dar gracias a todos aquellos que lo conocieron y que no lo conocieron y que nos están apoyando, a su familia de bomberos, ¿verdad?, que él los miraba como su familia también. Doy gracias a Dios por que Dios lo puso en mi familia. Y quiero compartirles un poco, ¿verdad? Ya todos compartieron de su trabajo, de lo que yo ya no experimentaba con él. Pero yo les quiero compartir un poco, ¿verdad?, de su niñez hasta sus 18 años, que estuvo en mi casa, que tiempos que compartimos, cómo fue su vida desde niño, ¿verdad? Y les quiero compartir un poco. Les quiero compartir un poco de quién fue Isai en casa. Él fue un niño poco hiperactivo, pero muy inteligente, que en la escuela le alaban a mi esposa, que hablaba mucho, y la razón era que acababa su trabajo de lo que lo ponían a hacer muy pronto por su inteligencia. Y le quedaba tiempo para hablar y desconcentrar a los demás niños, al punto que nos aconsejaban que lo pusiéramos bajo medicamento para calmarlo, y no estábamos de acuerdo en hacerlo. Y siguen más historias. Me recuerdo que cuando falleció mi abuelo, hablaron que un niño andaba arriba del techo de la funeraria, y me codea a mi esposa y me dice: es Isai. Se había subido por el poste de donde se pone la bandera, y le digo: abájate, y se abraza del poste y se abaja sin batallar. Pasaba mucho tiempo brincando en un trampolín, y como iba creciendo, más le gustaba mucho las patinetas, como dijo mi hija, ¿verdad? Y de allí brincó a jugar luchas, como también mi hija les compartía, las motocicletas, hasta que llegó al tiempo de que se graduó de la Odessa High. De regalo tuvo una troca 2015 250 negra, y le encantaba lavarla todo el tiempo. Esa troca fue pérdida total, y ya nunca más le llenó el ojo otra troca, que las dos siguientes que tuvo ni siquiera las lavó. Él era Isai. Se me pasaba algo muy importante: le gustaba pasar tiempo conmigo, que tenía la oportunidad de llevármelo conmigo a mi trabajo de la edad de 3, 4 años, a los juegos de fútbol, y regresando a salir de las puertas del estadio, se quedaba dormido y lo abajaba en brazos de lo cansado que andaba. Y esos abrazos se quedan tatuados en mi cuerpo. Mi amado hijo, te amo por siempre, y te quiero dar las gracias a toda mi familia una vez más. Tu nombre se queda grabado en mi corazón, Isai. Como yo le decía, mi perrón. quisiera que mi sobrino me interpretara por todos los que no entendieron el idioma español. Gracias.
Good afternoon, everyone. On behalf of my uncle, Ramiro, he would like to extend a huge, huge hug to his firefighter family that he loved and took to be as one of his own. His family for the support, for the love, and unconditionally. I'm gonna translate the letter that he wrote for everyone to understand what he wrote. And it reads as it follows. I would like to share a little of who Isai was at home. He was a little boy, a little hyperactive, but very intelligent. When he was in school, they would call my wife Elvira and say he talked too much. The reason behind this was because he would finish his work faster than the rest of his classmates and had extra time to pester them and play with them. To the point, they talked to them about possibly having calming medication, which they did not agree with. There are many more stories that follow. I remember when my grandfather passed away, and as we gathered as family, someone shouted that there was a little boy on the roof of the funeral home. And at that moment, my wife Elvira nudged me and whispered, "That's Isai." He had climbed the flagpole. I remember telling him to get down, and as he hugged the pole, he slid down with ease. Isai would spend a lot of time jumping on his trampoline, and as time went on and he grew and got into skateboarding, and from skateboarding he went into mixed martial arts, and then into motorcycles. Then came the time of his Odessa High graduation. As his gift, he received a black 2015 Chevrolet 2500, which he loved washing it and detailing it all the time. When this truck was totaled, not another truck filled it like it did. The following two trucks didn't get all the affection his first one did. This was Isai, and something else very important, that he loved spending time with me, and that I had the opportunity to take him with me everywhere I went. To work, at the age of 3, I would take him to the softball games, and once they were finished, as we headed out, he would be asleep before we reached the stadium gates. Upon arriving home, I would take him in my arms, still asleep from how tired he was. And the hugs he would give me will forever be tattooed in my heart. My beloved son, I love you and forever will. Your name and memory stay in my heart forever, Isai. My uncle Ramiro wants to thank the family and everyone for the support. Thank you.
Una vez más, ¿verdad? Quería dar gracias, ya que están de pie, darle la gloria a mi Dios por haberme dado un hijo tan maravilloso, algo especial para mí. Gracias, Padre, porque me has dado la oportunidad de crecer ese niño a llegar a ser lo que llegó a ser. Yo hice lo mejor que pude. Él lo demás lo hizo por su por su voluntad, por lo que él quería, porque era un niño terco, porque como decía mi hija, cuando él quería algo, lo quería y lo lograba lo que él quería. Permisos que no le queríamos dar hasta que nos convencía. Así era mi hijo Isai. Yo te doy gracias, Padre, por mi hijo. Gracias, mil gracias por él. Es un peor día de mi vida no tenerte, jamás no volverte a ver. Gracias, familia, los amo por soportarme, y gracias por ustedes, la familia de trabajo. Gracias por haberlo cuidado hasta su último momento. De todo corazón se los agradezco. Mil gracias. Bendiciones, Dios los bendiga.
What a beautiful job y'all did raising Isai. Terry Brumelo is going to come to the stage now.
It's crazy to hear all the similarities between all the stories and what I'm about to tell you as well. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Terry Brumelo. I have the privilege of working with Huerta. For those of you who do know me, well, you know I have trouble speaking in a room with 10 people. So the fact that I'm standing up here in front of this crowd shows just how much Huerta meant to not just me, but most people in this room. Huerta always did like making people a little uncomfortable at times. So between me standing up here speaking today and the number of times I've told grown men I love you the past week, it shows me that he's still at it. Just bear with me as I stumble through this. I first met Huerta when he hired on with OFR. When we first met, I had my reservations, just like I do with most people, until they prove themselves. And if you know Huerta, you know it didn't take him long to sink his claws into you. I'm sure that's true for just about everybody who knew him. I had the privilege of being stationed with him at Station 4 for about 3 years. We did life together. He was always around. When my wife's family would have a get-together, Huerta would be invited, and of course he fit right in. They loved him too. When he wasn't there, they would ask where he was, because that's just the kind of impression he left on people. Some of my favorite memories with him was our Christmas parties, and if you ever had the privilege of being at one of those with Huerta, I'm sure those memories stand out to you as well. In every good crew, there's that one person who makes the crew work, the person who brings everyone together and somehow makes all the different personalities mesh. Huerta was that guy. We spend a third of our lives with our crew members, and when you do that, sometimes people get on each other's nerves. When that happened, Huerta was there, and he always knew exactly how to change the tone of the room. He would turn everybody from being irritated to laughing with a single sentence. One thing I learned not to do around him was when I didn't want to smile, I'd try not to look at him, because he'd catch you and make some random face and have you grinning from ear to ear before you knew it. I also had the privilege of going hunting with Huerta many times. Sometimes sitting in the stand can feel like it's time is standing still, especially when you're not seeing anything. But if you were sitting with Huerta, you knew it wasn't going to be the case. I remember how proud he was when he got his own rifle. It wasn't the fanciest thing in the world, but it got the job done more than a few times. And when we bring deer back to clean it, and you probably saw in some of the pictures, he somehow managed to make that entertaining too. I always loved when Huerta cooked at the fire station. The man knew how to heat things up. I'd walk into the kitchen and he'd be talking to his mom on speakerphone in Spanish. I had no idea what they were saying, but I always knew by the way the food tasted that she had gotten her point across. And speaking for myself and probably most of the firefighters in this room, we appreciate those meals more than you know. I remember one time at the dinner table, Huerta and King started wrestling, and I told Huerta, he was brand new with our crew, and I told him, "You better watch out, King's gonna wrap you up." Well, they went at it so long that we got bored sitting at the table. About 30 minutes later, we came back, and they're still rolling around in a pool of sweat. From that day on, I promised not to ever underestimate him. My years are filled with memories with him at OFR, the many weddings and events we attended together, the night him and King made a grab, and how proud I was of him. The way he executed that call just solidified what kind of firefighter he was. The time he almost got beat up by a blind guy. Not really, but the blind guy sure thought he was going to. The Arbor Day shift when he showed up with plants and made us all go outside and plant them. Or the random times I would catch him in my side mirror getting my attention while he was hanging out the road while we were driving down the road. As you saw in one of those videos earlier. Even after we got moved to different stations, we stayed close. Always enjoyed going on runs and seeing Huerta show up. It just made you feel good when he was around. There are so many stories I could stand up here and tell, and you've heard many already. And that's because Huerta had a way of making himself part of your life. Then he met Mariah. Mariah, you really did complete him. I want to thank you for making him so happy. Huerta spent so much of his life making the rest of us happy, but I can stand here with complete confidence and say that you made him happy. Always knew he was taken care of because you were in his life. He would joke, just like you had said, and once you finished school, he was going to quit working and let you take care of him. Looking back, I think he was just halfway joking. To Huerta's family, thank y'all for sharing him with us. We know he was the man we loved because of the family that raised him. Huerta, I love you. Thank you for the laughs, the memories, the friendships, and the example you set for all of us. You made our stations better, you made our crews better, and you made our lives better. Thank you.
Lieutenant Randon Haynes is going to make his way back up here. And while he is presenting this, I wanted to let you know that this flag that will now be presented to the family, it was flown over the United States Capitol by the request of Congressman the Honorable August Pfluger to recognize the ultimate sacrifice in service that Lieutenant Huerta made. And so the flag presentation will occur now. This is now the conclusion of Lieutenant Isai Huerta's memorial service. Lieutenant Huerta's family, friends, brothers, and sisters in service, they thank you for coming here today to honor a servant hero. We will now transition to the honors portion of this service, so please stay seated until the honors portion of the service is completed. And then once concluded, please exit the building.
All uniformed personnel, Upton, Hook.
Dispatch to Lieutenant Huerta. Dispatch to Lieutenant Huerta. Dispatch to bunker number 232, Lieutenant Isai Huerta. Lieutenant Huerta, we thank you for your 9 years of dedicated service to the citizens of Odessa, Ector County, and the great state of Texas. You answered the call to serve others with courage, honor, and selflessness. Your commitment to your community, your department, and your fire family will never be forgotten. Fighters you served beside and the citizens you protected will carry your memory forward. With heavy hearts, we acknowledge your last alarm on June 14th, 2026. Lieutenant Isai Huerta, bunker number 232, you are now clear of duty. We thank you for your service, your dedication, and your ultimate sacrifice. Rest in peace, brother. Your shift is complete. We will take it from here. Dispatch cleared.
Present arms.
beginning of a firefighter's career starts by the ringing of a bell. So now we will ring this bell to signal the beginning, and now to signal the end. For our brother Isai, the bell will ring 3 times in tribute to his service, his dedication, and his ultimate sacrifice.
Present